Hello there, it's Monday and we are happy you've started your week right by tuning in to Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. A great package is prepared for you today, so stay with us.
Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your GIS News for Monday, March 19. A state of emergency is now in effect for the St. Catherine North Police Division. A joint police military team was deployed to the area on March 18 to undertake enhanced security measures for an initial 14 days in accordance with the Emergency Powers Act. Addressing an emergency press briefing Sunday morning, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the security measures in St. Catherine North were deemed necessary to address the escalation of criminal activities in that area.
The security forces have advised me as Prime Minister in writing that a high level of criminal activity continues and threatens public order and the rule of law. This threat is extensive.
The Prime Minister says the proclamation under the Emergency Powers Act has been gazetted, giving the security forces extraordinary powers.
The security forces are expected and have been directed to treat citizens with respect and to protect the dignity and safety of all Jamaicans. The security forces will have the powers to search, curtail operating hours of businesses, access to places, and to detain persons without a warrant.
Prime Minister Holness says the Emergency Powers Review Tribunal will be named shortly, and he is to address Parliament on the security measure. Meanwhile, Deputy Commissioner of Police Clifford Blake says the enhanced security measures will include targeted operations in Spanish Town, Bogwalk, Linstead and adjoining St. Catherine North communities. He told reporters on Sunday that the division recorded 136 murders in 2017 and 48 since the start of this year. DCP Blake says it is this escalation which informed the recommendation for the state of public emergency.
The joint forces will use all tools available to restore public order and the rule of law under these powers.
As a result, operational hours will be adjusted for businesses in these areas. Closing at 7 p.m. daily will be dry goods, cook and fast food establishments, haberdasheries, bars, liquor stores, nightclubs, gas stations and pharmacies. Community recreational areas will close at 6 p.m. Citizens are being urged to cooperate with the security forces as they seek to restore public peace and general good order. The St. Catherine North Police Division is the second area to be declared a state of public emergency, adding to St. James in the east. Major General Anthony Anderson began his first day as Commissioner of Police after taking the oath of office this morning. Major General Anderson was quickly sworn in at the office of the Police Commissioner by ACP Bishop Dr. Gary Welsh. The ceremony was immediately followed by a briefing session with area and section commanders. The former head of the JDF and the National Security Advisor was appointed by the Police Service Commission following the retirement of George Coelho in January. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has expressed confidence in his ability to successfully execute the responsibilities of the new role.
I'm certain that he will be respectful of the structure, the organization, and that he will build a strong alliance with the policemen, and that he will assist in the transformation of the organization.
In other news, Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith says Jamaica should not be directly impacted by the new United States tariffs on imports of aluminum and steel. She made the assertion in a statement to the Senate on Friday, pointing out that Jamaica did not produce or export either of the two products. She, however, acknowledged that Jamaica's export of alumina could be minimally affected by the tariff on those countries who use it to produce aluminum.
We have concluded, however, that any such impact would be limited. It would be limited, Mr. President, because the greater portion of aluminium exports from these countries go to markets other than the United States.
The Foreign Trade Minister says she also does not foresee any immediate negative impact to the country's bauxite exports, 78% of which goes directly to the U.S. and is tariff exempt under the Caribbean Basin Initiative.
We are aware, however, Mr. President, that we're at the early stages in this matter. It is quite fluid. And we're therefore continuing to monitor trade reports relating to both alumina and aluminium products. We will also consult closely with our partners as we continue to assess developments and consider any measures that might be deemed necessary to secure our vital bauxite and alumina exports.
The U.S. administration has imposed tariffs of 10% on aluminum and 25% on steel, citing national security grounds. The tariffs are to take effect on March 23. And finally, the farming community of Thompson Town in Clarendon is now benefiting from a $3.8 million community access point. The site, which was commissioned on Friday, has been outfitted with furniture, 16 computers, projector and projector screen. Technology Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley says establishing such a facility in a farming community exemplifies government's commitment to bringing internet access and opportunity to all of Jamaica.
In a farming community like Thompson Town, what we are doing is that we are effectively bringing technology to the people so that they can empower themselves, they can develop themselves, they can create employment opportunities for themselves.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
The Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology is now accepting applications for the 2018 National Innovative Competition under the theme Recognizing Excellence in Innovation. Submit entries to any of our 11 categories to win cash grants and trophies. Applications must bear the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office's JIPO seal to indicate authenticity of submission. Applications must be mailed or delivered to Mrs. Andrea Carr, Coordinator for the Innovation Awards Secretariat at the Scientific Research Council SRC. For more information, call 1-876-927-1771 or visit the SRC website www.src.gov.jm. Application closes Monday, April 30, 2018.
A roundup of the latest news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister awaits you next in Jamaica House Weekly.
Government welcomes multi-billion-dollar private investment.
The government has created an environment where entrepreneurs can take calculated risks.
Implement strategic crime-fighting measure.
A state of public emergency has been declared in the St. Catherine North Police Division.
Continues its public sensitization of the National Identification System and meets with new members of the Integrity Commission. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Lorraine Mendez. As the government continues to cripple the activities of criminal forces, Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Sunday declared a state of emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division. The area has recorded 48 murders since the start of the year, due mainly to gang activity.
Crime and violence, in particular murders, have been escalating in this police division. These enhanced security measures through the Emergency Powers Act will last initially for 14 days.
Under the enhanced security measures, the security forces will have extraordinary powers and some rights of citizens will be suspended.
The security forces are expected and have been directed to treat citizens with respect and to protect the dignity and safety of all Jamaicans. The security forces will have the powers to search, curtail operating hours of businesses, access to places, and to detain persons without a warrant.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has expressed confidence in Major General Anthony Anderson's ability to lead the Jamaica Constabulary Force. The former head of the JDF and National Security Advisor's appointment as Commissioner of Police takes effect today, March 19.
I'm certain that he will be respectful of the structure, the organization, and that he will build a strong alliance with the policemen, and that he will assist in the transformation of the organization.
Government's success in creating a business-friendly environment is exemplified by the latest private sector investment in the form of a $3 billion state-of-the-art grains mill. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the assertion at the recent opening of the separate group's facility in Kingston.
The government has created an environment where entrepreneurs can take calculated risks. And we want to see more entrepreneurs, more businesses, whether it is in manufacturing, whether it is in agriculture, we want to see more risk-taking.
Mr. Holness says the investment is contributing to the country's economic growth and employment plans, with 300 persons getting jobs. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister is urging Jamaican manufacturers to not only supply local demand, but also seek out regional and international markets. He says his administration's mission is to develop local productive capacity to replace imports.
And this is a positive step in this regard.
The Office of the Prime Minister continues to sensitize the public on the implementation of the National Identification System, NIDS. Chief Technical Director for the Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Division, Jacqueline Lynch-Stewart, says the National ID will reduce the hassle of getting photographs certified by justices of the peace or other authorized personnel when conducting business.
There are some of us in our society who have a difficulty finding JPs, who don't know JPs. I will be able to open a bank account with my One ID, because the One ID is verifiable and secure.
Mrs. Lynch-Stewart says other benefits of the NIDS include greater social inclusion and protection against identity theft. Mrs. Lynch-Stewart was addressing persons at the University of the West Indies on Thursday. Prime Minister Andrew Holness last week thanked Ambassador Nigel Clarke for his service to Jamaica. Having been elected as Member of Parliament for North West St Andrew, Ambassador Clarke has given up all positions he held on government boards. These include chairmanship of the National Housing Trust and Port Authority of Jamaica boards, as well as the deputy chairman of the Economic Growth Council. In a statement, the Prime Minister said Ambassador Clarke was a guiding force behind the work of the EGC, including wide-ranging policy reform recommendations, many of which have since been adopted by the government. Dr. Clarke continues to serve as an advisor to the Prime Minister and Ambassador of Economic Affairs, working out of the Office of the Prime Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Holness met with members of the Integrity Commission last week. The commissioners were appointed recently, headed by its chairman, retired Judge of the Court of Appeal, Justice Carl Harrison. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Do join us next time for more of the news coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
The Trees for Peace initiative was jointly launched on Peace Day 2018 at the Mount Salem Primary and Junior High School in St. James and Denham Town Primary School in Kingston. Watch now as we bring you highlights of the launch in one of these two Zoso communities.
Mr. War had absolutely no respect, no love. War became so violent that zones of special operations had to be mounted in our little island home, Jamaica. And even states of emergency had to be summoned. But today, we are proud to say we're burying Mr. War and we're burying the things that would lead to war. Because today, all we are saying, peace, we say.
Yes, you heard right. Mr. War and his affiliates were buried during the Peace Day celebrations at Denham Town Primary School recently, and the Trees for Peace initiative was planted. Trees signify a fresh start on life, positive energy, good health, and a bright future. It's no wonder the Violence Prevention Alliance and the Ministries of Education and Justice have launched the Trees for Peace competition in schools.
We're planting trees for peace because it's part of an overall program that we're looking to improve the behavior in schools and to reduce the violence in schools and replace it with peace.
We here at Denham Town, we are excited to start the ball roll because we are going to, put some benches in there and people come and relax, and when you have disagreement or just unwind in our peace garden. And not only that, we want other schools and community to copy our peace garden.
It is a reminder that while there is a place for the zone of special operation, while there is a space for the limited state of emergency, the Ministry of Education and schools and stakeholders of our education system also has a fundamental role to play.
And speaking about stakeholders, the initiative, which was jointly launched at the Zozo communities of Denham Town in Kingston and Mount Salem in St. James, would not be possible without the many partners and supporters. They have challenged schools to establish peace gardens where students and members of the community can go to resolve conflicts, relax, and just enjoy the natural environment. You've heard the cry of the students, but how can you join this initiative, you ask?
The requirements for the competition is to fill in the registration form and to send a picture of where your peace garden will be. We need to get the registration in during the month of March, so up to the 31st of March.
Months later, we're going to be visiting schools again and acknowledging and rewarding and celebrating their achievement. We are going to be incentivizing their effort.
Schools that establish and maintain their peace gardens will not only receive cash prizes and trophies, their stories will also be shared across Jamaica.
Think of a fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little peace in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Peace was said.
And why should you join the fight for peace?
It will build a really great community, because why some children is afraid to come out of their houses is because of the crime and the violence in the community. So we will have a better chance to have more children at school.
Peace will help, like, tranquility in the community, so they can concentrate in their work and get better grades.
One of the important things that the security forces has told us that they need the cooperation of all the other services to really re-establish peace. They can't always be here in this number, and we're building the foundation, and the branches and the leaves of the trees will help keep, and the roots that we're watering will help keep the community together and keep the peace as we go forward.
For more information on the Trees for Peace initiative, call 702-2709 or 774-5348. You may also email vpajamaica@gmail.com.
If you're watching the JIS, you're always in the know when it comes to government information and news. Keep watching, keep informed, and tell your friends. JIS, your #1 source for government info.
GSAT is only a few days away, and I'm sure our students who are about to sit the exam would really appreciate some tips for the big days ahead. Listen now as we give you just that.
Imagine now, right? We're fast forward into the day of the exam, right? So I want you to come prepared right? So try to get a good night's sleep. Don't skip your breakfast. You may be a little nervous, but make sure that you eat something before, right? You're going to be prepared. What I want you to do is to take out all the different distractions. Don't worry about what you didn't do before. Don't worry about, geez, I did a mock test, I didn't do so well, Penny. I'm kind of nervous, right? Just go with an open mind, right? The next thing is I want you to do is I want you to read carefully. What is it? Read carefully. I want you to approach the test with confidence. So on the day of the test, you're going to straighten your ties, right? Where are your ties? Straighten your ties. Come on, let me see you straighten your ties. Put your shoulder back, take a deep breath, and you're going to say, I got this. So let me hear you repeat this. I got this. Come on, louder. I got this. And then another step is the 6 P's of life, right? Let me see that 6. There's finger 6. Show me 6 fingers, come on. And they stand for proper planning and preparation prevents poor performance. So let's do it together again. So, 6 fingers. Okay, let's say it again one more time with the loudest voice that you could possibly can say it in. Alright? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Proper planning and preparation prevents poor performance.
Give yourself a round of applause.
How well do you know your child? What he or she likes or dislikes? Favorite food or color? How about who their friends are? Make the time. Get to know your child. It helps to build their relationship. Makes it easy to keep them safe, and it helps their development process.
The Jamaica Customs Agency will be journeying to the St. John's Anglican Church in Oterias this Friday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. to inform residents about their functions and services. The last meeting took place in December last year, and this is what unfolded.
For the third in a series of its community engagements, Customs Meets the Community, the Jamaica Customs Agency JCA was at the Old Marina in Port Antonio, Portland in November 2017 after passing through St. Elizabeth in May and St. Catherine in August. Customs Meets the Community is part of the JCA's overall public education strategy to inform and educate its stakeholders at the community level. On its third engagement, Portlanders got the opportunity to learn more about the Jamaica Customs Agency, covering its mandates, functions, and operational processes and procedures.
This type of engagement is one such one to ensure that you understand us more, and more importantly, we understand how to serve you better.
To do this, the JCA continues to collaborate with various border control and regulatory agencies, 2 of which were on hand to make presentations at the event. Among the benefits charity organizations enjoy are exemptions from paying customs duty, the General Consumption Tax (GCT), and only 50% of the Customs Administration Fee (CAF). The importation of a motor vehicle, however, attracts import duty, GCT, and 50% CAF. To receive these benefits, entities are required to register with the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies, DCFS, an agency of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries.
We process, we provide information to the charities, we publish information on the charities, we monitor to ensure that the same standard that you had when you were registered, that you maintain that standard.
The process of registering a charity includes completion of the registration form accessed through the DCFS. Each board member of the organization is also required to complete a fit and proper questionnaire and submit this along with certified passport-size photographs. A statement of income and expenditure as well as a TRN for the entity should also be submitted at the time of registration. Contact the Department of Cooperatives and Friendly Societies for more information on registering a charity. One of the roles of the Pesticides Control Authority, PCA, is the regulation of imported pesticides.
from time to time, people will go abroad and find stuff that they think might be useful for their homes. For example, rat poison. People see rat poison in the States and carry it come here, but it is not safe. All right, there are different types of rat poison. The one that you see in the States, it might be the one that, as your pitney eat it, in dead. Compared to the ones that you see out here, if your pitney bite it, you have time to carry them to the doctor to save them life. All right? Because we allow the ones that don't kill instantly.
To clear pesticides at customs, a permit is needed from the PCA.
We have a list of what we call registered pesticides. Those are pesticides that persons have come to us with before. The complete screening process is done. We are satisfied that this pesticide can be used under Jamaican conditions safely. All right? Once a pesticide is registered, anybody can import it. As long as you're willing to pay the 2% of the value of the goods, you can import your pesticides.
For more information on importing pesticides, contact the Pesticides Control Authority. Residents also got the opportunity to have their questions answered by customs officials.
How would I know when I would have to pay for something as compared to when I don't have to pay for it?
You must conduct your research, and customs now is available online. We have the customer service unit. You can always call 922-514-028. It goes up to 8.
I would like to commend you on a very good public exchange. I received you very well, and I found it very, very informative.
The agency will continue these series of community engagements in 2018. Look out, as next time around, the customs team may be in your community, providing information that can improve your interaction with the entity.
Sometimes I wish that I could make you understand the pain I feel from scars that never seem to heal. Sometimes I wish that we would look in the hearts and see that only love can heal the world. It starts with you and me. Oh yes, I am somebody, part of a human family. I'm the future, can't you see? Don't turn your back on me. I am somebody. Don't you leave me behind. I'm the future, can't you see? Don't turn your back on me.
Unfortunately, this is where we close off our magazine for today. Thanks for staying with us for the entire show. Another informative edition awaits you tomorrow, but until then, drop us an email at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more information. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Until next time, do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.